There was a thing in the woods. But once a year, it left the woods to feast on us. Then one year, out of the woods came nothing. Another year passed, and another. Over time, we forgot our fear and turned our backs on the dark. Slivers of the mad moon hang forgotten in our sky, slowly aligning. It is time again. The tide rises and brings with it something dire. There was a thing in the woods. But once a year, it left the woods to feast on us. Then one year, out of the woods came nothing. Another year passed, and another. Over time, we forgot our fear and turned our backs on the dark. Slivers of the mad moon hang forgotten in our sky, slowly aligning. It is time again. The tide rises and brings with it something dire. There was a thing in the woods. But once a year, it left the woods to feast on us. Then one year, out of the woods came nothing. Another year passed, and another. Over time, we forgot our fear. And turned our backs on the dark. Slivers of the mad moon hang forgotten in our sky, slowly aligning. It is time again. The tide rises and brings with it something dire. There was a thing in the woods. But once a year, it left the woods to feast on us. Then one year, out of the woods came nothing. Another year passed, and another. Over time, we forgot our fear and turned our backs on the dark. Slivers of the mad moon hang forgotten in our sky, slowly aligning. It is time again. The tide rises and brings with it something dire.
5 seconds remaining.
Radiant team ban.
To the team, howdy.
Dire team ban.
Watching it.
Radiant team ban.
Then I have to do the fucking.
10 seconds remaining.
In game.
No. In
Oh,
5 seconds remaining.
wow. Okay. Hello? Let me reboot Discord then as well.
Dire team ban.
Radiant team pick.
Faceless void.
Dire team pick. Ten seconds remaining.
5 seconds remaining.
Yeah. I'll start analyzing to the people in Dota TV, don't worry. Oh, there's a
Radiant
void
team
first pick.
Oracle. Dire team pick.
Radiant team ban. Ten seconds remaining.
Oh.
5
Game now.
seconds remaining.
Let's transition. Well, it's about time. We're back here with the Dota Summit 13 Europe and CIS with the double T's. It's Panda and T Governor here bringing you the action with all the way with Monster Energy. And man, I've been waiting to get to this. And hopefully my audio is working as is intended because I had a bit of issues there. I just plugged in my brand new audio card driver onto my PC. And it instantly started acting up when I was pushing the stream on. I was like, okay, I'm just gonna cross my fingers and hope everything's all right. So if there's no crackling, no problems, we're Gucci. And it's supposed to sound like just as we are. We're T-Pan and T-Governor. And T-Gov, we've got a great series to start things off with. We've got Mudgolems and Yellow Submarine.
Dire team ban. Radiant team ban.
Oh.
10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
Yeah. Yeah. I also agree, because
Dire team
mudgolems, we
ban.
talked about them losing to Liquid. They were the team that went all the way to win the entire tournament. So that's not too shabby, if I might recall. Yeah.
They really like
10 seconds
to
remaining.
basically present their carry very early on the draft. I think if you look at their
5
players,
seconds
you know, you got Skidder, Milan. I think Milan as a 4 player, for example, his hero pool is a little bit more unique. So, for example, back in the Chaos days when he played on that roster, it would be the drafts would maybe focused around him, for example. But it's really good to see that in this new roster that's doing so well, they're actually like not sacrificing, but they're allowing Skeeter to basically have his hero early on. So the Voids, the Sven, Spectre, maybe even a Drow, Lifestealer, for example. Like these heroes, they're like, well, they're pretty good heroes, so let's just slap them in the first phase, and it unlocks your players that have these very like specialty hero pools to have these later picks. So it's why we're seeing Milan have like playing so much better, for example, in this team, is because his carry player's gone, don't worry lads, I'll take it in the draft.
Oh, yeah.
As long as later on, you know, Boronia or
10
Milan, they
seconds
come through
remaining.
with that big pick, that clutch 4 or mid pick, for example.
Yeah,
5
there's like a
seconds
lot of good things
remaining.
that they can look for. I mean, for Yellow Submarine, we start off with Spectre. You can definitely head into that plus 25-minute draft if you want to, and just kind of rely that we have a timer that we can live with. Or you can, you know, put more power into your mid-game, secure Spectre the lane that he wants to have, or, you know, start playing around him, or just the 4 protect 1 type of strategy where you just want to get that one really big purple boy, you know. Yeah, but there's a Viper though, so...
Yeah, the Viperino comes through. I was going to say that Yellow Submarine, their draft right now, because they are second pick, it's very reactionary.
10
You know,
seconds
they
remaining.
pick the first pick, the Void and Mudgolems. You pick this Oracle as that defensive
5
kind of
seconds
hero,
remaining.
and then you round out your first phase, sorry, with the Spectre, because it is that win condition against the Void, and it allows you to obviously, you know, scale up against him. Most carries kind of feel a bit weak at most stages, but Spectre allows you to play into that. And you can see as well with the Rubik, you know, you're playing into this team fight, but they didn't cover or react to the fact that Mudgolems, they have this really beautiful versatility in their lineup where they're not afraid to pick these heroes in other roles, right? Of course, we've seen Viper offlane 1,000 times, right? So it's not like a surprise, but I'm surprised that Yellow Submarine actually let this hero through the pool, especially against a team like Mudgolems that are just going to go, well, Viper's available, we need an offlaner, let's just pick it, right? So yeah, it could even be a
10
mid, for
seconds
example.
remaining.
Either way, like, it's just interesting that Yellow Submarine didn't properly cover themselves.
5 seconds remaining.
Yeah, it's a difficult spot,
I mean,
honestly.
yeah.
They're a good team. There's a lot of bans you want.
Brilliant
is.
team ban.
It is, and I also agree that Yellow Submarine, even if they have like all these experienced players, the guys who've been around the scene for like who knows how long, you can still find some flaws in drafting, and I think this is a good training ground for them as well to get to play against these really good teams. They already showed at once that they
10 seconds
can be
remaining,
the
ban.
next elevator team, the team that can show up in the tournament, might not get all the way through, but at least they get to participate, get their experience from there, and maybe be that next powerhouse team.
10
Very
seconds
large.
remaining.
But no, I know. Yeah, and now you see with the Undying,
5 seconds
this
remaining.
Snapfire presented itself. Oh, this is justified. You know, it's Farta. It has to be. Boom, you suddenly flex that away. You have this Undying against a Centaur lane. Void naturally is a very kind of defensive safe laner, which has that ability to go aggressive if needed. So yeah, it just pairs well. I'm a big fan of just what Mudgolems have and the fact that they're a team that is first pick and they've
10
been able
seconds
to just
remaining.
kind of. It feels like they've controlled the draft, but at Yellow Submarine, they
5
are on
seconds
a
remaining.
big lineup that is very comfortable for them. They have played, you know, this basically exact lineup before, and it's not like a big surprise that they're picking these heroes. The Mio or Toronto Tokyo on the mid lane, he likes to play some of these more. Go
When
on.
you say Toronto, Tokyo, it's like I just can't talk about this guy having this nickname because he's always going to be Mio for me. Mayo
Yeah,
or
but
Mio,
like,
whatever.
I
but
won't
yeah.
lie, I didn't even know it was
10
Mio.
seconds remaining.
I honestly thought this was just a new guy.
Who is
I've
this
just
guy?
Seen,
It's like-
I've seen him in pubs
5
just tagged up as
seconds remaining.
Toronto Tokyo. I'm like, aight,
Yeah.
cool, nice. You're going mid, I guess. Off you go, champ. I didn't think it was, you know, Mio, but either way, like he's very much the classic mid laner, Ember, Invoker, Storm, Quap. Like he likes to be in your face. So that's exactly what they need on Yellow Submarine. I wouldn't be surprised if they gravitate towards that. But first, mudgolems, they have a lot of flexibility they need to deal with right now. Is the Viper off lane? I would expect so. This is probably just going to be the Boronier hero. Maybe, I guess Lena's a bit too squishy in this game, but that doesn't really off-put them. They're 3 very tanky heroes. They go for Earth Spirit. It is the mid Viper then, right?
Yeah, it does look like it's a mid Viper. So is that what a 3 snap 5 undying 4 spirit? Looks like it.
Yeah, you know again the best thing here is Snap and Viper could both play that 2 or that 3 role, right? Especially when you have this Earth Spirit who's a very enabling for that unlocks these ranged heroes to play in that off lane. So I think let's not get too carried away on who's playing what for mudgolems in terms of those 2 heroes, and it's more for Yellow Submarine. How are they going to answer this? Because right now they have a Spectre who's hard countered by the Viper. They have a Centaur lane that isn't too great due to the Undying, and they don't have much kill potential for the Void. So they need this mid laner to basically like activate their entire game and go, oh, okay, we can go out, find plays and make pickoffs. So like for example, I think Quap comes to mind. If it's not banned, it isn't banned, just because it takes away the Earth Spirit gank mid, and you might be able to get that quick Orchid to play up into the Void. The issue is, I feel like you still lack that damage, because eventually you're going to run up into a very tanky Viper, a BKB'd Void, and if you don't have a good early game, then suddenly your whole draft falls apart, because realistically no one else does anything in the game other than this mid laner for Yellow Submarine.
Yeah, there's some options. I mean, the Quap would be a nice pickup for them. Also, it gives that tempo that I think they need, because right now I don't feel like they have a playmaker hero on the map at all. They need someone who enables them. They banned the Seeker themselves, so that would have been one hero to play with. But I feel like I also agree with you. I think the Quap's the best pick to go for. But what does Mio want to take? Or Toronto, Tokyo, whichever way you want to put it. Time runs out, and the last pick's going to be a Nature's Prophet. So, all right.
That's the key thing. See how they're taking a little bit of time to decide? They're like, all right, lads, what are we doing here? Of course, the Undying is already given, right? There's not gonna be offlane. So it is gonna be the offlane Viper as expected into Spectre with the mid snap fight, which I believe.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I think that was the for the actual event. We did cast the closed qualifiers with, I think it was Mofar and Kips. We might have seen maybe something, but I'm not entirely sure if we did see once. Yeah. Oh, what? Whoa, what was that? You all right there? that's all I just heard was beep. I was like, all right. That's
this Furion pick. We're talking about active, and that's how they're going to be able to play this game out. And maybe this Furion could apply that tower pressure that mudgolems can't really deal with, because realistically their tower defense is going to be this very slow and clunky Viper. So if you suddenly have this Centaur Furion kind of walking around together, the Centaur protecting the Furion, towers are falling, then I can see, you know, them opening up the game, because that's what Yellow Submarine have to do. They need to open up the game for their Spectre to get to his, you know, beautiful itemization of Manta, Skadi, Basher, Abyssal, etc. to be able to play. If he never gets to those items, then we can just call this over, because also BKB. Like, it's such a rough game for Yellow Submarine, in my opinion. So
yeah, that's basically what the hero does, and I think like that's exactly what they need as a filler for their draft. That they have that one mobile hero, the playmaker, to make things happen, but requiring that he also has a good lane, decent amount of farm. Does he get to push the mid tier 1 tower at all? Because he might have to pay attention to the other lanes. There's a lot of questions that only the Nature's Prophet can answer for us, so we're probably at least going to be keeping a very close eye on how that mid lane does end up rolling out for both teams.
I'm going to do the obligatory ghost check to see who's actually got cosmetics for their heroes. Only the Centaur is rocking the new cosmetic. Curry?
Yeah, I haven't actually even had the time to look at this because I've been doing something completely different from Dota, so I'm not even going to talk what I did last week.
Exactly. You're not allowed to admit that, all right? As anyone
yeah.
working in Dota, if you don't work always Dota, then you're shunned away. So.
But the people who always work for Dota are the content creators who create amazing skins, amazing sets. Give your love for them because this game would be nothing without hats.
True. Yeah. Let's go for it. That's what keeps our Dota economy alive.
Yes. Right in the money. So we get to see Borneo with Snap and mid against the Nature's Prophet. Already talked about this matchup a little bit here, but how do you think this is eventually going to roll out? If we talked about the NP, we haven't really talked about how the Snap is going to roll this lane out.
Well, Snap naturally does pretty well in most mid lane matchups due to the fact he has so much wave clear with the Cookie and the Scatter Blast, and also I like his itemization in this lane. Get that casual ring of protection just to cover yourself from, the Blightstone of a Furion. It's pretty much the Cookie cutter build for any core Furion nowadays. So yeah, he's gonna have a perfectly fine time, and the main question will be, will Toronto be able to, CS fine? He currently is doing great. But it's that first rotation. He can make the rotation a lot easier than a Snapfire can. And that's going to be the key difference in this matchup.
At least the outer lanes are looking kind of alright here. Viper hitting 7 CS. Spectre's also getting a decent amount to start things off with. Neither lane is getting far behind. And a Courier kill does come out. There's going to be 33, picking up Yatoro's Courier on the way. Bit of extra gold to start things off with, 150. That's basically like that's like a bounty rune for a Courier kill, pretty much.
Honestly, I just hate I hate couriers.
You hate couriers?
Yeah. Like the fact that there's like 10 in the game, 5 for each team. It's just like, where was the skill of divvying up, resources across your team? But oh well, it's a bit too easy nowadays.
It's true. I mean, if we think about like the old way the couriers used to work out, all the communication it required, how supports are not allowed to. You need to buy the courier, then you're not allowed to touch it for like the first 4 minutes because your carry wants to get that one big item that he can last it better.
But like courier micro was also a skill, right?
It was.
Like, your courier's about to die, the position 5, don't worry guys, I saved it because that's part of my toolkit.
Yeah.
Suddenly everyone gets a courier. Yeah, the 5 players now like, oh well, everyone does it now, whatever. Like, they're just taking more things away from the 5 position. It's just upsetting.
It is in a sense. Got a decent amount of region for the Centaur here in this lane, so even if Undying does bully a little bit, always trying to look for those double decays to go off. Still a lot of HP region for the Centaur, and Void doesn't have exactly the damage output that Centaur would be feeling like scared in the lane.
Structures are fortified.
Yeah, like the laning phase right now is, very even. I think realistically there's not a lot of kill potential on both sides because Undying is like that nuisance factor. You think about top lane, it's a lot of, again, nuisance, the Viper. And when you have lanes which is like Spectre, Fury, they're not going to get early kills. It's when you get to like minute 5, the bounty rune contest, maybe the Furion's already got 6 and is rotating in, that's when the kills are going to start flowing potentially. But for now, teams are playing as they are. No one's, doing anything too crazy, and that's what we expect right now. And that does play into Yellow Submarine's favor, but realistically, mudgolems as well. They're going to ramp up the tempo when they get that 1-2 items on each player. They start playing around that chrono timing. That's when we're going to see, objectives being pressured.
Yeah, they're both just chilling, observing what the enemy does. I mean, these teams have, I think they've already met like maybe once or twice in the last few months, I guess. I mean, mudgolems ain't that old of a team, which is surprising how well they've actually done. Like, I don't think there's many teams that have actually gone up to par with the achievements that mudgolems has hit so far. I mean, we are talking about the online era, at least the 2020 year is. but they've taken the most benefit out of it.
But you gotta
that might actually help them. That I'm sorry I interrupted, but
No,
like
no, it's fine.
this year, that's gone so well for them. If they keep this up, when we get back to LAN events, how do we get there? That's going to be interesting. But the Spectre is going to be in trouble as Utaro drops to 100 HP, and that should be first blood. And 33 will get it. So the Viper gets the last hit on it. Also, the Earth Spirit gets closer to his boots. So that's a good play here from mudgolems on top.
Yeah, that's where the Viper v Spectre just comes into play. Viper just non-stop applying that poison attack to him, and unfortunately, even with Oracle getting a point in Fate's Edict to cover from that magic damage, it doesn't really allow you to eat through that amount of damage they have. But yeah, it's a rough one. But no, I think you just have to give credit for this mudgolem side. I think Farger and 33, these players, cheeky tonight. He is
Yeah,
gonna die for it.
good body blocking there from Milan onto Miposhka. He does get the bounty deny, but ends up paying with his life.
And this is just going to be, yeah, Milan's going to grab the next wave. They now have a double wave to farm. Is he going to grab it? Oh, no, he's not. He's just going to let it be. Fair enough. I guess, yeah, if you grab that wave, actually, you expect to farm on the tower without pressure. So I'm happy they didn't grab the wave. Good job, guys.
Good job, yeah.
But no, yeah, I think
All
yeah,
the small
33...
things.
33 and Fowler, like whatever team these two go on, and when they pair up, I feel like they just make a team successful. I think the captaining of Fowler just really just elevates a team, right? Like you can't look at a team he's on, especially when he's playing this 5 position. His just understanding of the game just, I feel, just can make most teams work. He's a very, I think, one of the underrated captains in the scene for sure. No, not after he saw Germany, probably people are like, oh yeah, he's actually really good again.
Yep, got a rolling from Milan and thrown to Tokyo. Get hit by the Mortimer's kisses, and so this NP finally ends up going down. It's going to be a kill from the Snapfire. Rubik TP's in, and a very risky one from Sobad. Really wants to kill on the Snapfire. Cookie will be thrown out, and Bora picks up the double.
Yeah, a very classic rotation, but they are trying to go on Viper top. Unfortunately, an Oracle Spectre doesn't have that much damage, so can't really convert that kill. But a very classic rotation from mudgolems. You have that catapult wave coming in, you bring both supports mid, instantly pressure this tower, keep the catapult alive, and now suddenly, at minute 6, your Furion, he's going to have potentially this tower fall. And I say potentially, it is going to fall.
Yep. Got a tombstone going down on mid, so at least they're going to force out the Nature's Prophet from the lane.
Dire's middle tower
allowing that tier 1 tower to fall. The catapult making one more hit. Borania secures the last hit. 7 minutes. Mid tower down, and NP unable to make any plays happen. He's stuck in this mid lane, trying to keep up the farm. Can't help his side lanes, and he's lost his tower.
Yeah, normally Furions, they like to push out their lane and, you know, set up that rotation, but because of this really beautiful move from the supports and mudgolems, this Furion just like, oh well, can't really make any moves now, lad. And realistically, when we spoke about that active nature,
yeah,
who's Fury rotating into this lane? Is he going to TP into a Viper? Is he going to TP into this Void? Like, he doesn't have that instant lockdown in this rotation, so it makes that play so hard, and you're dependent on your side lane setting up the kill for you.
And now Snapfire's rotating bottom. Sobad has actually seen one of them, but does he know the Snapfire's right behind him? Chrono onto 2 from Skitter. Rubik will be going down first. Very low on HP.
No.
And that should be it. NP ulti does come out, though. And there's a fight breaking loose on top at the same time. The Spectre in trouble. They've already lost one hero in Yellow Submarine. They might lose a second one as the Spectre goes into hiding into the trees. Will live a little bit longer, but very low on HP. Does have a Fairy Fire to back him up. Doesn't need to use it, though. So
yeah, unfortunately, that bottom
5-0.
engagement. Bornia tried to cookie the Undying in, but I think he just like got caught on the side of the Chrono. Slightly mistimed, unfortunately. It was very funny. You just saw the Undying just move like one unit and go, nope, I'm not going in there. Nope, you can't make me.
There's not enough time and not enough matter to make it work out. And now Yatoro tries the TP home inside the poison, and he will die. The TP even goes through, but that's still a dead Spectre with a cooldown on his teleport. So that's either you walk the lane or you haunt somewhere.
Yeah, I was saying, at least he has the haunt, right? That's the saving grace there. He just got 6, so he can haunt. But it's just such a hard game because these lanes are just going so well for Yellow Submarines. Because of this tower falling so early, this Snapfire, who naturally is quite a farmy-esque hero, is able just to run around and do whatever he wants.
Now they're going to punish Miposhka in top. 7-0.
This is already a bloodbath.
Now NP, they're keeping bottom. This might be the first kill for Yellow Submarine.
It's not an Undying, though.
It is hard to kill. It's a difficult target. They finally get the job done. So that's going to be the first kill for Yellow Submarine, and we have the good old Brazil on the screen, 7-1 for mudgolems.
All right, Milan getting a nice deep ward out. This is just really good play though from mudgolems. The idea that they put fodder bottom, he tanks up a couple of spells, and it unlocks Milan to get this deep vision out. And now when you look at this Yellow Submarine kind of map control, taking this tier 1 tower, it feels good, of course, you have tower gold, but realistically, you've not made advancements on the map because it's so hard for you to want to play in their jungle when you have this like topside pressure. But hopefully, again, for them, it might look rough now, but their game plan is about buying time. It's about keeping the game going so that they get to that, you know, period where Spectre has lots of items in him. But it's a very hard thing to do when you're playing up against these heroes that are already in your face, especially from the position. Look, Manan, he's just sitting here. He's like, eventually someone's going to run here and I get to use my ult on them.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Yeah, and it's also like, I mean, Yatoro, if he does build that blade mail, he is going to attract a lot of damage, so that will come into benefit the longer this game does roll out, because of all the dispersion damage and then the blade mail damage reflecting backwards. And there's a lot of AoE that mudgolems have, so it's definitely going to be a useful item. It's not going to be like, you use your blade mail, nobody hits you, and they're like, all right, I used it, now they turn on to me. But there's a lot of like lingering stuff on the ground, like Mortimer's Kisses, all the overall, like all the AoE from Snapfire and the Viper. So that's already 2 heroes that will definitely reflect some damage backwards, but it's not going to help because they don't have it right now, and they're going to find the Spectre in the jungle. Well, here comes the Hawk spam. He's going to try and jump back and forth, reality shifting, and he will live for now, but Milan keeps the ulti ticking. The magical damage reduction will come out from the Poshka, and here comes Bornia with Toronto Tokyo, and okay, Ninja's Prophet, he just TP'd in, and he's trying to TP out to get cancelled. He's going to get stunned up. Milan falls down, and there goes the NP, but Collapse will take down the Mortimer's Kisses. Snapfire going to go down as well. Yatoro is still alive, and Yellow Submarine find 2. Can they find a third one as they chase on to 33? Collapse is right behind him. Vada is right there as well. Throw the Tombstone down. He gets 1 kill. He gets the Spectre. He does have the damage for it, and now the Centaur on the run trying to get some distance from him. As here comes the Faceless Void as well with the Chrono Will, and he's got everybody inside it. He's got all 3 heroes. He will go for the Rubik, and Sobat dropping low on HP will take down 1. Collapse is still got his ulti running, gets a stun out as well. They will take down 33, and Fana will take another one, and Miposhka is out, and Centaur should eventually fall as well. And Mudgolems finally prevail in the end, but they do take a few casualties on the way. But is it only the Viper? No, it is actually 3 heroes for a full team wipe.
At the start of that fight, it looked so good for the Submarines because they were able to, you know, eat through that quick engagement. They turned that kill, but it's the continued aggression after. It's that fact that they think, okay, we have numbers advantage now. Let's try and take that fight. And unfortunately, the lineup they have doesn't have that kind of chase potential this early on, so kind of getting a little bit carried away there. And then, you know, Tombstone comes into play, even soul ripping the Spectre. That's funny. And then of course Skeeter just arrives and just cleans up. So I think if Yellow Submarine can just be a little more defensive maybe with that engagement, accept the fact they were able to turn around and kind of a gank on their Spectre and accept it, then this could have been a much different story. But unfortunately, like I said, due to that desire for kind of trying to capitalize on that small fight, it kind of bit them in the ass a bit. So a bit of a rough one for them.
I've got a question for you.
Go on,
Give
mate.
me your opinion with a school grade from 0 to 10 about Nature's Prophet. Mask of Madness with the right-click build, and you don't have any minus armor in your team to benefit from, so you're just a glass cannon.
It's like a C, I guess. I'll go for like the universal grading, because
Alright.
I could use like UK grading, which is like, we have like numbers and letters type of thing. So yeah, I'll go for like a C.
Alright. So C is like a 7, I guess.
Couriers gone down
No,
in
C is like a 5.
We have like 4 to 10, so 7 is like average, but well, Yatoro's gonna go for a 4. He's dead right now.
He's in a rough spot. But no, but this build from Furin is very much a, we don't have this damage. We need someone who's able to enter the fight and right click, and I respect that. But I fear that this build is only perfect if you're able to play with the Spectre. You know, Spectre's having an equally good game. If Spectre doesn't have this good game and can cause this confusion in the fight, it's so easy to, you know, locate this Furin, kill him quickly, because he is being this glass cannon like you said. So if they play around it, it could be great, and his grade could go up. But right now, I'm scared that the Spectre presence won't, you know, like marry well with the itemization. But either way, It's 3k at 14 minutes. Like, it's not too, you know, it's not like doom
it's not massive
right now. Exactly, and they, like I said, they just need to keep the game going. That is the key thing. Keep the lanes pushed out, and then wait for Spectre to want to take a fight, because they won that previous fight technically. They just got carried away.
Might be doing it here. They've got rotations kicking in top. Faces Void. Oh, he's gonna find a big one here. Skitter's gonna be taken out before the fight even breaks loose, and they have the Haunt as well. Gonna go straight onto Fada. Collapse with the stun. The Tombstone will be taken out. Here comes the Stampede as well, so to get them extra speed to come in as well. Miposhka now coming in to join the fight as well. Milan is there in the back line. We've got 33, taking some hits onto Collapse. Meanwhile, Fada trying to keep the Oracle away, and Oracle taking a lot of damage from Fada. Fada might be just able to solo this one, but the Sprout will keep him in place. Collapse, meanwhile, gets a 2-man stun, but Barania will be able to take the kill for himself. And now Miposhka trying to run away from Fada, still keeping up the chase. Here comes the Water's Kisses as well. Onto Yatoro as Milan on 33. They cornered the Spectre into the trees. Already 2 down. Make it 3. They did find the Faces Void, but they end up losing a whole lot more for it.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's one of those things where they get that perfect pick off. They kind of surprised the Void, because if you look at the Rubik, he had Scatterblast stolen, which is an immense amount of damage. They surprised him, got that quick kill. But the way that Fada was already in the front of the fight, using Flesh Golem, slowing everyone, a beautiful kick from Milan as well. It's so hard for Yellow Submarine to want to disconnect, especially when they didn't have Stampede up, because they used that earlier in the fight. So it's one of those, it starts great for Yellow Submarine, but at the end of the day, Mudgolems, they have this continued skirmish damage.
Well,
oh, bye, man.
at least they have a really good nuke though here. You can see Collapse so bad. I think that was the last. Did he get to use Scatter Shot there? Scatter Blast? Or then it just ran out, because he doesn't have it anymore. So it probably just ran out when they found that pickoff. That was a big nuke anyway, because Earth Spirit isn't like, he's a strength hero. He's not a really squishy target. You need a lot of damage, so I think he just had it.
He is pretty squishy when, you know, 3 lands are pummeling on him.
Yeah.
He's in the wrong neighborhood, putting it bluntly. That's not really putting it bluntly, but still.
Made out of the wrong type of rock, I guess.
Some like, I don't know, some like limestone or something. Is that strong?
Ooh,
I don't think it is.
Yeah.
Is it?
At least
really
in every
rocks.
RPG that I play, limestone seems to be like the weakest. Or sandstone,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
Alright, Collapse. He gets stunned up. Milan gets the roll out. He does get the Stampede, just running in circles. Delaying the inevitable, but an instant smoke coming in from Mudgolems. Can they get more?
Like, when you pick off the tanky kind of frontline hero, especially when Collapse is farming that aggressively, the best play you can make is that instant smoke sweep through the map and look for that another pickoff. Because the best thing is, if you chain these pickoffs one after the other, yeah, maybe, yeah, they are. Skitter's just slapping it up straight away. Fair enough. That's the thing. One pickoff, you have to go for it.
Yeah, I feel like they smoke up. If they find an extra pickoff, they're happy. Void instantly moves away from the jungle to be like, I have my chrono. We're ready to fight. If you guys want to fight, we can do it. But hey, I can just start doing Rosh and you guys join me. And they didn't find a kill. They go straight for Roshan. Yellow Submarine. Well,
none the wiser.
No reaction. No reaction at all.
They can't.
They're just going to let this one slide. So it might be looking like a 4,000 gold lead. Yep. Ages for Skitter, 17.5 minutes in. And he's very, very close to BKB. So BKB Aegis faces Void with a Chronosphere ready. Mudgolems have what they need.
It's very, very scary, especially now that their fight kind of construct is a lot easier, because Fata, 33, and Skeeter can now basically all run in by. Look at them. They just don't care. They're just running around. Chasing down. He's going to find nothing, though. Bless him, but I just love the reaction to Yellow Submarine. They're like, well, they have this Aegis, so what do we do? Look at right now, you got Yutara in the bot lane pushing that out. Toronto, Tokyo, or Mio, he's up in the top lane. They're just sorting, they're not reacting to this aggression. They're keeping the lanes pushed out and going, okay, cool, you can do your thing, but you're clumped up as 5 right now. You're chasing for pickoffs. So if we can maybe eat through this one Aegis, that fight after, when it expires, that could be a good window for Yellow Submarines to want to, you know, actually.
Yeah, it's very possible. They can go for it. They can just continue dodging, build up the Spectre big. As long as Spectre doesn't die more than 5. They are coming towards the jungle, though, so they have to pay attention. Collapse, especially. Oh, no, Yatoro, he's got to walk straight in. Up. And there comes the Roland. And Yatoro will be caught, kicked backwards. And he just pops his blade mail, knowing that, well, I'm gonna die anyway.
You know the sad
Stampede
part
will
there?
not save him.
He died because Collapse was passing him over the Aquila. He's like, you know what? Come to me, Carrie, for I have found you a gift on my adventures. And the Spectre
Will you
then
marry
bowed
me?
down. Yeah, exactly. Bowed down to him, and it was like, oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, they're gonna find even more.
Skeeter again.
Actually, wait, that's
When Skeeter picks up an Aegis, he does this so often.
I looked at completely wrong. I was like, all right, they're gonna find another pickoff. Wait, no, that's the Aegis.
So basically, he was farming in this. So he was farming right here, trying to skip the wave in this bottom side of the map for Dire. Rubik then just lifted him into a Centaur Storm, into then the route from Oracle, and then all of them used their nukes. And guess what? Skeeter go pop.
Yeah.
That's the start of my rap. Skeeter go pop. I'm gonna be dropping that one next week.
Yeah, that's. I mean, are you the guy from the music video?
Yeah. I'm gonna put like that gold grill in my teeth. I was about to start, giving you the first, bar of my my rap, but unfortunately, didn't want to release it to the world too early.
I didn't continue on from there because I was like, I appreciated the moment. I was like, all right, we'll make a rapper out of you yet. I'm sorry, I'm just the wrong genre type of guy. You know me, I'm the guttural panda.
You think I can pull off a rap? Have you seen me? Even this laugh alone, that little, that is a non-rap laugh.
That is. But some rappers they do laugh in very funny ways.
That is true. That could be my USP.
However, some vision is coming out into the top tower, and Miposhka, maybe not the most necessary BKB pop there from Skitter, but at least it's used. However, so bad in trouble, gets the left onto 33. He doesn't have any friends to help him out. Spectre just throws in a dagger. 2 quick pickoffs there for Mudgolems, but they do get to push bottom a little bit. And they might even have an enemy hero around. It's going to be Bornea.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Skitter.
Oh, Tokyo's manning up. Hello, Tokyo?
That is not going to work out for him. Just perma controlled there. Just gets as the chrono ends. One tiny little bash comes in as well, so no reactionary, nothing coming out there. And Collapse. I have no idea what was his plan here, but it's not.
Will he live? Blink. Oh, okay. Maybe now. Oh no. Maybe.
Nope.
No. He was, of course, dead. I thought I'd just give it that fake storyline.
Yatoro,
not you as well, brother.
And now he's just going to get kicked backwards by the looks of it. I mean, wait, Milan's not kicking him yet. Keep the slows up. Yatoro does have Mikoshka around. He has that ulti available. Can he get to the high ground? No. But they're going to roll onto the Oracle, so it's just one big chain feed by the looks of it. They found 3, and they're going to look for the 4th one as well. Mikoshka tries to self-cast to get rid of the rolling stun, but it doesn't work out, and suddenly 4 heroes disappear one by one.
Yeah, I just love the way that Mudgolems are playing map. They set themselves up in this top side of the map, and as soon as they got that 1 kill on the Oracle top, they instantly just kind of swept through the map. That flooding, that numbers advantage. And look at the itemization from Snapfire. He has bots, he has blink, so no matter where he is, he's always going to be able to just throw that lad all the way into that fight. And they just basically just pick off after pick off. Yellow Submarine, they need to be a little bit more, respectful of these spells and accept it.
Yeah, but they might find a pick-off. Maybe the tiny fight does come out, the lift comes out, the connection's done from Collapse, and they just blew up Skitter right away! And they find one, but they also lose Toronto. Tokyo, 33, gets cookied away, but 50 HP ain't gonna save you, and an Oracle's gonna be around, and that's gonna be one. Collapse, half HP. Brawny and Fada will decide to stay on the low ground position here. Do they have any friends around? They've got a TP kicking in. It's gonna be the Earth Spirit, but they have 2 cores down. And Fada, he has overstayed his welcome. 1 stun to 2 stuns.
Oh, now Milan's going
Now
in.
Milan. Whoa. Hold your horses. Let's take another pick off. Suddenly, Barani is the only one alive. And
he has blink.
Mudgolems. Okay. He does manage to get the blink off just in time. But yeah, that was a basic illusion cast into a blink away. But still, they had like a 3,000-4,000 gold lead. Like, as in, I'm talking 8k to 9k. Now it's 5.
Yeah, it was meant to be one of those moments where that play from Mudgolems sweeping through the map, that basically sets you up to be non-stop aggressive and basically mirror that play non-stop throughout the next kind of phase of the game. But Yellow Submarine identified the fact that being cute and pushing out waves is great, but you are able to take a fight if you get that pick off. And unfortunately, Skeeter is basically that kind of component in mudgolems right now, which is opening up Yellow Submarine to make these good plays, because he dies straight away at the start of the fight, and now you don't have this threat of the chrono. Think about that previous engagement, the one before we just saw. It went so poorly because you just chrono the Furion, take away all that damage from the MKB, and now it's like, oh, well, what are we gonna do? So I think Skiddy, he has to be a lot more disciplined in his positioning, play around that kind of the gobble up, and then they'll be fine. So I think it might look a bit good for Yellow Submarine, but realistically, mudgolems make one adjustment in their positioning, and they're going to be perfectly fine going into this next fight.
It's true, it's true. I mean, Skidder he's been looking like a little bit of a shaky mouse in a sense that he did pop his BKB on an Oracle kill in top with a friend, so that was a 2v1, not a 1v2. It was a 2v1 fight, popped his BKB. Going for those, like, if he sees Fury and he just drops his Chronosphere. So, you know, I mean, probably his teammates have already told him, like, hey, just chill, take it easy, we got this, we got this. And we'll definitely see a lot stronger mudgolems in the minutes to come. But for Yellow Submarine, Spectre is slowly getting bigger. The clock is ticking.
Slowly being the key word there, Mr. Panda.
Yes.
Very slowly.
Very slowly, but the clock is
8k
ticking.
net worth. He is below the Centaur.
Nice
And
bit comes out.
Tokyo's dead.
Yeah. Nothing you can do to react from that.
Grassy britches.
Gobble up. Still love that spell names. And into the jungle. They have found several heroes here in this same area. And Yatoro is once again in the same spot. Fada might have actually caught a glimpse of the Spectre there momentarily. Roshan, a very long respawn time. Looks like it's going to be a full 2.5 minutes. But
It's the saving grace for Yellow Submarine. Oh, he's going such glass cannon. He's looking at Mask of Madness, MKB, into then Daedalus. He really is going to just try and blow up these targets. And Milan just used his ultimate on literally nothing.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Sorry for calling you out there, Milan, buddy, but I did hear the ultimate. And I heard no death or destruction, so
their structures.
it's not as if it's a big thing. It's only an Earthsphere ult.
Dire's top tower is
At
under
least,
attack.
since we don't have chat wheel sounds, we might have heard the oops. And Skitter, now he's found the Nature's Prophet. He knows, okay.
Nice try.
Oh,
Okay.
all right. Go for it. Why not?
Oh, poor range creep. Poor range creep. The BKB does come out as well. And so Tokyo will drop to very low HP. Skitter still throwing in those right clicks, but there's the Oracle ultimate still keeping him alive. But he's not going to live throughout this one. It's pretty sure that the NP should eventually fall down. The Collapse Centaur also going very low on HP. That's already one down. It's going to be a second one. Yatoro doesn't have any damage fallout from anybody because they've already lost their major damage dealer. So that's 2. Make it 3 in just a moment, maybe. So bad. Uses Time Walk to get away. Milan looking for it. The cookie. That is such
Oh, he found Collapse.
Oh, he found Collapse. He found him. Make it 3.
Look, you know what? That's what he gets. He misses his. He uses his ult in topside jungle, but then he hits that roll. It, balances it out. It's all good.
Yep. Oh, that was some sick damage.
This is the issue, right? With Furion as a hero. It's such like a trap pick, where you pick it and go, yeah, we're gonna be aggressive. And in the fights as well, you're like, yeah, I'm gonna man up. But you're a Furion. Against a Void, he just bashes you to Kingdom Come. It's why Void's such a good hero and why mudgolems first picked it, for example. Unfortunately, this Furion is not able to pump out damage because that fight construct, it wasn't the Haunt first, it wasn't that pick off the Centaur, it was the Furion up front. And that means it's such a simple chrono that now, when your Furion's dead, or at least, trying to do any damage through bash, your Spectre is now relegated to the support hero who's just trying to destroy a tombstone from an Undying. So unfortunately, Yellow Submarine unable to do any damage in that fight, simply due to how they took it. It was a reactionary fight, not their own setup. And another pick-off.
Blown up Rubik there. Like, if you look at the Nature's Prophet item build, he's got like full damage items. You know what defensive item I would love to see him pick up? The Aeon Disc. Because all this damage isn't doing anything from him right now if he's being the target for the Chrono.
You mean for Furion?
For Furion. Because
realistically, he needs to be looking more towards, the Satanics, why I bought the Mask of Madness quite early on. It's about you survive the Chrono, and then you need to be able to pump out your damage post chrono. If you
Yeah, I
itemize
guess,
to live
yeah.
through the chrono, you're then going to do no damage, and that's the issue right now. So
That's true. I mean, yeah, the BKB Satanic could really work out there. Right after the chrono, just pop both up, regen, don't get stunned up right after. But
and it puts a lot of pressure on this Oracle having good position.
collapse. He's got a chance to
He's
go
trying.
for a contest here, but it's not gonna happen.
I say trying, he's just watching keenly on the side. But no,
Was moving there.
I know
we're saying about
Roshan.
positioning. Look at the Oracle. He goes for that
Coming
Blink
back in
Dagger.
a
He
few
knows
minutes.
that his job is basically sit as far back as possible. Don't get caught out by, you know, the gobble up or the Earth Spirit initiation, and then keep this Furin alive, because that's all his job is. Keep Furin alive, allow for that damage to come across the fight, and you're gonna get to that phase that in the next, I'd say, it's not gonna sound good, but in about 10 to 15 minutes, that's when Yellow Submarine are gonna be able to bring something properly to a team fight, where they don't only rely on that key pickoff, because Spectre's gonna maybe have an Abyssal at that point.
That'd be a risky point here. Toronto Tokyo just finished off the Daedalus, and a 3-man smoke. Gobble up right on the money on top of the Spectre. There goes the Chronosphere, and there goes your Spectre. But they also get a kill on the Viper at the same time. So now there's no Chrono, there's no Spectre,
I was
but
so
they have their
confused,
big
mate,
damage
honestly.
dealer.
I was looking at the Viper kill, I was like, they've not used Gobble Up, what are you on about? I realised the Spectre was dying.
Yeah, I was like, at the Skitter, BKB popped up, but Neo, there goes Neo, he just right clicks away, and he crits a couple times, he takes out another, and it's going to be a big trouble here for Skitter. He does get Neo, he doesn't actually get the jump away because he's sprouted in the trees, and now it's working out for him. And Toronto Tokyo, he forces the buyback, he gets another kill, and then Nature's Prophet's right click damage is too much to deal with, and that was it. They had to use their chrono on the Spectre kill, but that meant that the Nature's Prophet is gonna have free roaming space. And you saw that Faceless Void. He picks up his mace, he pops his BKB, he looks at Nature's Prophet, he raises his mace high up in the air while he's taking all these bullets, but the bullets, they're slowly burning through all that time and matter what the Faceless Void is made out of, and his Aegis pops, and he's completely disarmed in the arms of this damage dealer.
That's all I get to say. Crikey. Like that, what was that for a fight?
Fortified.
That was... But that was the fight that the Fury wasn't targeted at the start, they didn't have the chrono available, and it was just that 1v1 duel, and especially when they avoid Mask of Madness and commits to that engagement, Furin, with just enough range, able to just kind of eat through him. You've really got to question Skeeter in some of these engagements. I've said it earlier, he's kind of like the loose cannon right now for this team, where he can either have great games or he can just get picked up relentlessly. And right now, he needs to just, just take a breather. They just got third place at ESL Germany.
Yeah.
Just calm down, mate.
Yeah, just chill.
Take a chill. Hit a chrono or 3. But see the Fury, and he's going for that Satanic. He is going to go for the... Let me survive through the chrono, hopefully, with the Oracle ult, and then post-chrono, I'll be able to live due to that Satanic. And the Spectre, if you look at his quick buy, he's going for the E-Blade. He's changed up his... He's like, well, I'm not really a carry at this point. Fury is doing all the work, but Skeeter get in the bottom.
Exactly, and oh no, but he does get the heal off. Somehow the cheese will be used, but Toronto Tokyo right clicking away, the gobble up will come out, and now instantly turning around onto the Nature's Prophet, and the ultimate comes out from the Oracle, but the Faceless Void is still bashing out hits. He's doing a lot of damage here, and they should be able to take down that, and there's the Chrono coming out as well, but it will only catch the Centaur. Toronto Tokyo will go down, they will lose the Oracle, they will lose the Centaur as well, and 3 heroes gone. The buyback does come out from Rubik, but Rubik is unable to participate in the party anymore, and that push was actually happening at the same time from the Spectre, but they can't find any objectives with this hero. He doesn't have the damage for it. 4 heroes gone and a buyback.
They tried to go for another really clutch pickoff, and you got to respect their, the desire to be aggressive. Unfortunately, because the Void had the cheese and they didn't have enough continued stun, it completely turned that fight around. But you got to give props for Yellow Submarine going for the play, but realistically, due to that cheese, it mitigates any aggression you can ever do for the Void, because with Time Walk, with cheese, with BKB, it's so easy to, eventually survive.
Dire's middle tower.
Yeah, that's only like you're gonna have that cheese like once in like every 10 minutes or so. So the next time they won't have the cheese, they have only Time Walk. So that's either you throw the nuke, force the BKB, or you throw in the nuke and get the kill even. to follow up from that. So those are like two things that Yellow Submarine seem to be relying on. And another thing about the Satanic, do you really need a defensive item if you have the Oracle ulti? You pop your Satanic during it, and just massive amounts of heals. Doesn't it work that way?
Yeah, it's all about the heal that you do during it, so pretty darn good.
So
I like the the adjustment though for Void. That's the key thing I like, is he's realized that he's only dying to this immense amount of right click coming out. So he picks up the very classic halberd, allows him to survive through this window of the game, and now he can continue looking for what items do I need later on. Naturally, Skadi is on the menu because against the Spectre, getting a bit tankier, but I like the fact he went back for this halberd and realized the only reason he is dying is because of this damage type coming in.
Also does give a tiny bit of stab resist.
Spectre's just shifting items for his quick buy. First it was E-Blade because he died to some right clicks. Then he went for AC, and he was like, maybe. And then he went for Skadi. This guy just can't decide. He's like at a buffet.
I have a feeling he's not even deciding his item picks anymore. I feel like the rest of his team is telling him what to do.
Oh, you're not relegating the guy that down. No. Just because he's died.
I'm just saying,
he's died 9 times. All right, yeah, no,
he has. I mean, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Like, the Nature's Prophet seems to be, if the Nature's Prophet and the Oracle can keep the survivability and the damage, the rest, the crowd control, is the Rubik and the Centaur. What does the Spectre do in this game right now? Well, not a whole lot of much, pretty much. Just, maybe causes a little bit of distraction with his ultimate. But that's about it.
Here, though. Oh,
but maybe...
so close to level 25.
Maybe...
MKB Satanic.
Maybe in like 10 minutes, Spectre can be
We've been saying that every 10 minutes. Every 10 minutes, like, maybe in 10 minutes. Maybe in 20. Maybe in an hour.
Okay. I don't beat the beaten man.
But yeah, it's just so scary when you think about that pure 5-on-5, an objective-based fight. There's so much varied damage coming from mudgolems that it's very spooky. And now they've gone, wait, why are we just getting picked off? Let's just group up and go. So I love mudgolems just pushing in,
just taking care and control of this entire area here. People are teleporting out from the bot lane.
Oh, Tokyo's under vision right now.
He is.
Tokyo, no,
Can he get out? Can he get out? Can he get out? He's got to be very close where he gets the silence up, and the chrono does have to be used on the Nature's Prophet.
Oh, Skeeter, you little devil there. He held his chrono to the last point. He was like, he doesn't know I'm here. I'm going to make it think like he's going to live. No! I'm going to use chrono.
No.
Fair play. Got to respect that. He paused, and he just made sure he knew exactly when he was going to do it. Best player of the game from Skeeter so far. Joking, no, I'm not.
I mean, like, if this was like maybe 2 years ago, Milan would have cancelled that TP with the kick, but it doesn't work like that way. So.
Oh, right. I thought that was some weird shade.
Like, all right,
I thought that was like some like, 2018 Milan healed the bee's knees, but 2020.
No.
What's this angle you're going with? But no, you're talking about hero mechanics and good old
I'm
kick.
just talking about irrelevant history that doesn't exist anymore.
I see.
I'm not the Dota historian, though. Thank God for that.
Okay. No, yeah. There's too much. To be the true
there's enough that your brain can handle in this game.
Yeah, you have to dip your hand into the cookie jar a little bit, not too much.
Yeah, just a tiny bit, The golden film of the Nutella can.
Alright, so Centaur, again, I just big fan. He's got Blink, Pipe, Ags, AC. He's basically going, okay, my lad's gonna survive. Please.
He's the presence in the fight. He needs to be there. He needs to stay alive, but he needs to be around his teammates. But most importantly, he needs to be there. Do I make myself clear? It's like if you have items like ACs and pipes and stuff, but you're not close enough to your ally, you're worthless. If you're next to him, you are being the MVP with just your existence. And there's the gobble up. Nope, not yet. Nope. Survives Stampede.
Nice.
Well played there from Collapse. He gets his teammate away.
That's good. Nice little glimmer.
And 130 for Roche.
Yeah, if you were the Oracle in your pub at that point, with a gobble up thrown at you, you might need a new, change your underwear there, because holding a gem in this type of game, it's like, this is what can keep your team in the game, because you get those cheeky D-walls, you take away any aggressive vision. But as soon as you lose it to one stupid pickoff, you're like, oh no, the map's so dark. So yeah, I think very happy that So Bad was in position to help Miposhka there, because that could have been doom and gloom for Yellow Submarine. All right. Oh, yeah. Snapfire's level 25 now. Here we go. This is the stuff. MKB, Daedalus. 3 extra little multi-shots, a little shredder. And it does its damage.
An illusionist cloak bait with the Spectre walking straight into the Roche pit. Probably a vision bait, thinking that maybe
this is a
there's
big
an
timing,
ops
though.
ward.
They have the Skadi on the Spectre. They have this tank to be able to go into the fight. The issue is it now a little bit too late where mudgolems, they have double halberd now on Viper on the Void. It's not going to be so simple for this Furion just to enter the fight. If the Furion had BKB, I could maybe accept there's a mirroring timing coming from both teams. But because they don't have this way to get rid of this disarm, so much damage is now removed from Yellow Submarine if mudgolems are positioned correctly. But look at them. They're hugging each other, holding this defensive tri-camp area, got that low ground vision. They're ready for this type of play. They're like, well, all we have to do is win the next fight and the game's in our favor.
Was looking like secondary smoke coming in from Yellow Submarine, but they won't use it yet. Holding their high ground advantage. Bounty runes will spawn in about 10 seconds, but Roche is up. Skitter will instantly jump in the pit. There's an Axe, there's a Cheese, there's an Aegis. Vada's gonna be right next to him. Carrier of the Vlad's aura. Collapse will find him. Stuns come out, and that's a quick kill. It doesn't really take that long for them to blow him up. This nuke has been working from fight to fight for Yellow Submarine, and it pays off again. They get the tombstone, the kill on the Undying, and Roche has been cancelled for now.
That is very characteristic for Fodder. He likes to be that frontline, and you saw it in the previous parts of the game. You know, minute 10, minute 20, he's always barreling in first, popping his ult, placing the tombstone, and now, unfortunately, at this point, one lift and a Furion well positioned. See ya. Thanks for playing. They didn't really have to use anything for that engagement, I think. As if Yellow Submarine can buy out enough time, wait for this Roshan, or keep contesting it very gently, if they get this BKB on the Furion, this could be a very scary fight. It's this entire game right now is, can Skeeter hit the chrono to win the game? That's it. If the chronos aren't good, then Yellow Submarine have a way to take fights, because the fear of chrono alone, it's so scary, because it's like, Chrono Furion, win game. That's literally the playbook right now for mudgolems.
Oh no,
or
Radiant
gobble
scan.
up, jump on him.
They got the Radiant scan. They will spot. Somebody is inside the Radiant jungle, but how many heroes are there? And this is actually given the time for mudgolems to stack up. They were a bit spreaded there for a second, but Yellow Submarine, obviously they have to constantly expect that there's going to be 5 heroes nevertheless, unless somebody shows up in a lane. So they can't just go for a kill if they feel like it. I mean, that was an opportunity you could have maybe used, but you're still under an enemy tower.
It's
super risky.
Ever.
Yeah, exactly.
I think if you go through the history of Dota 2 and the amount of games lost from teams diving this kind of like behind the tier 2 pocket on both Radiant and Dire,
yeah,
like that one play completely can lose you the game. So I'm really happy Yellow Submarine didn't get a little bit kind of antsy and go, kill the Snapfire, go, you know, like they were respectful, especially when the Void was smoked behind the Snapfire as well. So good stuff, Yellow Submarine. But again, contesting this Roshan, that's the critical play here. It's an Ags Roshan as well.
Pay attention.
Get your bodies in there, boys.
Pay attention to Fada's positioning this time. Last time he was in the front. Does he go for it again? He just Prophet coming in. There's a tombstone thrown down onto the ground, and here comes the jump from Skitter. The lift will come out as well. They will not use any crowd controls yet. No stuns, no damage coming out yet. Now comes the haunt as well. Roche is very low, 2600 HP. I don't even know what to look at right now, but the Earth Spirit has already fallen down. He's actually buying back, and he will be coming back into this fight very momentarily. But this Roche is still going down, 1500 HP. Atoro wants to go in, but the ultimate coming from 33, and Roche will be contested. They're all inside the pit. They'll take the chrono. The Dire will take the kills. It goes to the Yellow Submarine, and Skitter will take the Aegis for himself inside the Chronos. 33 really low HP as well, and 33 will go down. He will go for the buyback on the Viper as well, and so does Toronto Tokyo. And we still got a 5 versus 5 fight going on as Toro still trying to make a run from him away from the hands of the Faces Void, and Skitter, 33 HP, won't be able to get the kill. Maboshka gets his friend back to safety. Now the back left. Toronto Tokyo is going to be a dieback on the Nature's Prophet, and Mio is out for the count, and it's 15,000 gold now for mudgolems. But most importantly, there is no buyback on this Nature's Prophet, and it's 2 minutes without your big damage dealer. Mudgolems might have just broken the wheel.
Yeah, that fight for Mud. Oh, are they going to get collapsed too real quick?
Hold up. Fine collapse. TP coming in from Snap as well. He does use the Stampede.
The Yag Stampede.
Hag Stampede.
You shall never kill me. Oh, the gobble up though.
Oh no. Not out of the clear yet. And onto the Rubik. Rubik is gone. Buyback comes out as well. And Spectre, very low on HP. 500 left. And the Oracle ulti will be used by Miposhka. Keeps him up alive for just a bit longer, but Collapse will be pushed back into the hands of the Mudgolems. And they are running out of firepower. Mudgolems seem to have plenty of it, though. But Yellow Submarine, they will not use the buyback on this Centaur, because it's a 3 versus 5 scenario. Now they use it. Centaur coming back in. Melee Rax does go down. And still
Also,
all 5 heroes from Mudgolems. They have no buybacks. There's still Spectre and Oracle actually have theirs, so there's more buybacks on Yellow Submarine, but they don't have their Nature's Prophet, which is their big damage dealing tool. Gobble up. Doesn't quite connect. The silence coming out onto the Rubik, though. Stun from Collapse. Damage coming out onto Milan. Still got 1100 HP, though. And Skitter comes into rescue. Helps his teammate. He still has the Aegis. Has the BKB. 16 seconds for Chrono. They're going to go straight for the tier 4 towers. They want to end this game here, right now. Here comes a Cookie. Will connect onto Yatoro, and the damage. Skitter is taking a lot to himself as well. The Aegis will finally pop. 18 seconds for Nature's Prophet.
they have Chrono up in 3
Chrono is up now.
Yeah, they're going to be able to
Are they
fight
swapping
up
the
again
spell?
if they really want
Are they
to.
swapping the spell prism as well? Because I see the Void is now holding onto it.
Yeah,
because of the
yeah,
Chrono.
especially because he has that Ag Synth as well. He's going to be able to really utilize that free bash he's going to have here. I'd be scared if I was Yellow Submarine chasing out like this, especially with the Chrono. Like, no one's TP back on Radiant. They actually want to take this fight.
Oh, and they will go in. They got the lift on Skitter, though. Does have a BKB, but he doesn't have to use it, though. They are not fully committing onto this hero. Aces Void is going to be fine.
I will say during this quiet part, I got to give props to Fada going for that position 5 Dagon to deal with the Spectre, because as soon as Haunt comes in, you just Dagon that illusion, get rid of it, and suddenly Spectre can't jump you. So I like the cube Dagon 1 pickup, and now he's going back, I believe, for the Ags after that, just so he can be a tanky boy.
Radiant's courier was caught.
45 minutes into this thriller. This has been a pretty pumped up game from both sides. I feel like Yellow Submarine never really gave into this game. They've been behind, but this is not like this is far from a stompy game or anything like that. They've really fought against Mudgolems, but can they hold their base?
Uphill struggle for sure.
Yeah.
But seeing with Mudgolems, they know that they can win the game right now. They have the Chrono, they have everything they need. They're insanely tanky, so they're just parking themselves up. They don't even care about this top pressure coming in from the Furion. So one big team fight. Can Yellow Submarine have the good position?
Another jump from Collapse. 33 does take a little bit into himself. And the Global up along gets a 2-man stun with it as well. Skitter following up, still has that Chronosphere available. Yatoro returns his attention towards Warania, but he will go down, and the Spectre's out. He does have a buyback available, needs to use it right now because his teammates are dying. Collapse will go out. And 2 heroes gone from Yellow Submarine. The Ancient is open, and Spectre comes in with a buyback. The Haunt will be used as well. The BKB from Skitter. He's also Mask of Madness up, so he can't get any spells up, but it finally wears off as well. 33 does get lifted backwards. There's the flicker, and there's the Chronosphere right on the money onto the Nature's Prophet, and he gets saved by Miposhka in the nick of time, but they're all both disarmed. He can't get any right clicks out as well, and there's Nature's Prophet. If he's gonna fall, it's gonna be all over here. Milan, they will take down Toronto Tokyo. Milan falls, Yatoro will fall off as well. Yellow Submarine have lost so many heroes that they cannot defend their Ancient anymore, and this one comes to a close. It's gonna be 1-0 for Mudgolems, but this is only map 1 from this best of 3.
That's so filthy. Look at the scoreboard. Like, Ronnie is 21 and 11. Like, this guy he just didn't really die at any point. Skeeter kind of tanked the critical deaths, and like as much as we mentioned, like
Submarine. We kind of liked that first game, T-Govern, didn't we?
Thank you. Yeah.
Did.
I was like, yeah. Did I like it? Did I?
I did.
I didn't mind it. You know what? I
did
didn't mind it. It was alright. It had its ups and downs. That was a good thing. But you know, this game too. This is for me. Yellow Submarine. They just had a game where like the setup of the game is no different, right? We've got mudgolems with first pick Radiant. We've got Yellow Submarine second pick Dire. So I'd love to see them learn from this first game and go, okay, maybe we don't have to overreact so much to the Void, and let's, you know, get a little bit more, you know, spice in the draft, a little bit more tempo play where we can actually go get our own plays going and chain our own kills, because again, that first game, they relied so heavily on that one pick-off to then try and play numbers advantage. But for mudgolems, look at them.
10 seconds
coming out,
remaining.
same pick coming out, like, you win game one, you're the team that doesn't really have to make changes, and that's the beauty of you know, winning.
Yeah, and it fits well. Like, the Phoenix usually calls in for like a Mirana, Snapfire, Lina, something to break the egg. So yeah, we'll go what we had. Yellow Submarine, I mean, we didn't have the best Spectre game. It could have been a lot better what it actually was. But I mean, we can all agree on that. The Spectre didn't really shine at any phase of the game, and I was waiting for it. He was persistent, at least. He tried. He tried to get back in. He had those moments that maybe I should help my NP and make an E-Blade, so when he gets chronoed, I can save him. But, yeah.
For this series, right? Or at least the second game. You know that the natural pairing after Void will be the Snapfire. So going for Phoenix as your kind of get-your pick is pretty interesting, because naturally, like you said, the Snapfire is the counter to Phoenix. So if the Snapfire is in that support position, it just allows for that kind of little shredder v egg play to exist. Of course, if you're a core Snapfire, you're not always in the correct position to deal with egg, so I can maybe see why they would still want to go Phoenix in that kind of respect. But it is interesting that they kind of didn't show the respect towards the Snapfire, and they still are going for their own setup. But again, it's not about the first picks for Yellow Submarine. It's about like the next three heroes, in my opinion. It's the ability to go find fights, to go make plays. Because when you have Centaur, Rubik, Oracle, these type of heroes, they're very static. They kind of exist. So I'm really excited to see how Yellow Submarine do adapt. But will mudgolems go for Viper? Will Yellow Submarine ban Viper?
Do you know what else rhymes with Viper, or at least has the same kind of color?
Oh, I was gonna say sniper, but then you said color, and I'm like, sniper's red.
10 seconds remaining.
Actually, true. You actually responded to the first thought correctly, but then I was like, I meant to say the color green. But yeah, that's our sponsor, Monster Energy. Cheers to that. Classic sellout, but
you gotta do it. All right, Yellow Submarine do ban out the Monster Energy that is Viper.
Viper Energy.
Oh god, I don't think they'd want to align themselves with a hero, right? Not a lot of people like playing Vipers.
I don't know. But the ones who do have fun with it.
5 seconds remaining.
I guess. Will Yellow Submarine, like, okay, so this is a difficult position when you're second pick, because if you don't set yourself up correctly, opening the second phase is often quite a challenge, because you're like, well, what am I revealing? Is the Phoenix a 4 or 5, even a 3 arguably? Like, this pick kind of does show a lot. And naturally, teams like to pick their 5 in this position, but again, like I said, due to that Phoenix, they need to decide what they're doing, and the counterpart to that is if they pick... Okay, hold on.
Winter Wyvern.
Okay, if they pick a hero that doesn't have that good control, it does open up for punishment for like these more mobile heroes, for example. Especially when you already see one bird, you pair it with a second bird, bird have wings, bird don't have that good stun, you know, suddenly
10 seconds
the
remaining.
embers are on the cards, the co-ops, all these heroes, the value goes high. Even a Storm Spirit, for example, we see Borneo play some exceptional Storm Spirit. But I can see why Yellow Submarine do want to have the double bird, is because against the Void, now with Chrono, you have Curse, you have the Cold Embrace, you have Egg, you have so many ways to save from this big spell, this big team fight, that you can prolong, be defensive, and then take the fight after once the spells aren't up. But the key issue is they don't have this kind of map presence. They're not swarming the map looking for fights. It's very static, and now I am worried the Yellow Submarine 2 games in a row are basically accepting that they are going to play on the defense, wait for mudgolems to be over aggressive and try and punish it. But they don't really have a lot of damage, but they do have the defensive mechanisms to, you know, cause a rebuttal, but they're not really killing anyone. They're just kind of going, shoot, go away. I don't want to fight you. Oh wait, you don't care? All right, come fight us. You're gonna kill us, but it's fine.
It's kind of like
you for 5 seconds.
You're standing still. You're kind of practicing with your judo master with your battle stance. You're kind of like, how do you stand correctly? You're getting ready for it, but then you never actually get to use it. So unless the enemy actually comes at you, you will be prepared. But I mean, this doesn't always apply to Dota. Like when you have a defensive strat, but you don't play it defensively, then you've done a mishap somewhere. But yeah, these heroes definitely allow you to, you know, tiny a bit more cautious, keep an eye open. We're not playing too aggressive, so we should be more reactive and responsive to what the enemy is going to be doing. And also the core players who are not rotating between lanes, especially if we talk about the early mid-game phases, is you know that you can't go too deep into lanes, for example. Talk about like if this Snapfire with this high damage output, you've got Centaur catches one good stun. If you're too far away, no one can help you, so you always have to keep that in mind, that your position as a core has to be super important as well. I know I talked about like a million different things there, but still, you're
10 seconds remaining.
Are you oh yeah, you're grinning at the axe, aren't you? The double birds.
Radiant team ban.
Imber spirit.
Dire team ban.
Hmm.
10 seconds remaining.
5 seconds remaining.
Hmm.
Radiant team ban.
Hmm.
Ten seconds remaining. Dire team ban.
I can hear it from the way you're putting it out, because it kind of sounds like, and it feels like when you're looking at these drafts, that you've built this really big castle like piece by piece, but if you start chipping it like one piece from there, one piece from there, it doesn't fall. The walls will always stay. The towers will still be there, but you need to demolish the entire goddamn castle if you want to win this team. But if you take down one piece, you're fine. They can keep on going. What?
Dire team pick.
Oh, yes.
Sky Wrath Mage.
Oh, whoa. All right. Yeah, yeah. Yes.
Like, the way that mudgolems play right now and draft is, like, when Milan was in chaos, his hero pool,
5
we'd have to
seconds
focus around because he had a very, you know, specialist hero pool. And I don't think we ever fully got to the point of fully understanding how to enable him correctly. But in this team, he has this priority that allows him to have like the best Shadow Demon game, the best Earth Spirit game, you know, a pretty good Sky game. Because, for example, in this game, if you cold embrace a target, damage, boom. See you, buddy. Thanks for playing, you know? And there isn't that kind of constant aggression that I've mentioned already. So if Mudgolems, they just keep running at you, this constant damage, you know, the Void, the Ember, the Sky, pair that with the Centaur Stampede to disconnect, like, it's so hard for Yellow Submarine to ever stand at an objective and defend it, because right now, they don't have that natural core that wants to stand there. Acts as an initiator, re-initiator. Spectre, again, same thing. He haunts in. The double birds, not a lot of praise going towards them, the little flappy boys, but they don't do it either. Wyvern stands there, so like right now their mid pick needs to be this active counter to Ember,
just
maybe
like last
like
game.
a Monkey King type situation.
Maybe
but that's
maybe a Nature's Prophet that is actually